And good morning, everyone. I'm Walt Gray. It is Monday, the 30th of August.
And I'm Bria Love. There's a lot going on with the Caldor Fire this morning. We don't want you to miss any information.
That's why we have live team coverage. Rob is tracking fire weather conditions, and Brittany has everything you need to know about added road closures.
Plus, Tracy Humphrey up near Tahoe giving us a visual of what crews are up against. And Carly Gomez will also show us how flames are able to spread so quickly with the terrain in this area.
Check out this time-lapse video. This is looking toward Echo Summit. You can see the fire actually approaching ski lifts.
The Erie site, that's just how close it's getting to the Tahoe Basin. The flames sweeping through under an orange glowing sky.
Now, the Caldor Fire has gone down in containment from 19 to 13% so far. It's burned more than 168,000 acres. While you were sleeping, South Lake Tahoe was put under an evacuation warning. That's for Lake Tahoe Basin from the Alpine El Dorado County line north along the California-Nevada state line to Lake Tahoe. Many people are not taking the suggestion lightly.
No, they're not. Take a look at this backup. This was at the Safeway gas station overnight. You can see here several people packing up and leaving now.
I don't know, it's getting a little serious. Last few days we've been kind of hesitant, but it's looking like time to get now. I don't think it'll make it to the houses up here, but it's going to be close.
That's something many Tahoe residents are up against right now. Time is ticking as the fire gets closer and closer to the basin.
And ABC 10's Tracy Humphrey is in the evacuation zone in Myers this morning. Tracy?
Hey, good morning, guys. You know, when we walked out of our hotel this morning, which is in South Lake Tahoe, there were numerous cars all around in front of the hotel as people are honoring that evacuation warning. Now, we took Highway 50, came up to Myers, and then we went all the way up to Echo Summit. Now, we did not have the opportunity to get a cell signal, otherwise you would see us there now. But when we were up there, we saw numerous spot fires. There are a lot of crews up there. They are working. They are trying to contain this fire. But the takeaway is that the fire has made it to Echo Summit, and that is right at the tip of the Tahoe Basin. And later on tonight, and Rob's going to give you more information on this, we got some pretty dire weather conditions with winds gusting at least 50 miles per hour across some of those higher ridge tops. And once those winds kick in, it's going to be really an eventful evening, and also pretty much overnight as well, and also during the day on Tuesday. Unfortunately, the weather is not helping firefighters at all trying to contain this fire. And for people who are still in the South Lake Tahoe area, we're still looking at hazardous air quality. I'm looking at 500 for the air quality index. So a number of different things, variables in play today for people in the South Lake Tahoe area. But the takeaway is there is an evacuation warning for a reason. You do need to stay abreast of the weather, and it is going to change very quickly later on today when those winds pick up. So make sure you know what's happening, have a plan in place for you as well as for your family, and when you're told to leave, you should leave. That is a look at what's going on here in Myers. We're going to have constant updates throughout the morning on the Caldor Fire, how it's growing, maybe if they're making any type of containments or any additional containments, we'll let you know. But the takeaway is the opportunity for those high winds are going to be pushing that fire, unfortunately, closer to South Lake Tahoe. That's a look at what's going on here this morning. Back inside to you.
You know, Tracy, when the winds are favorable for fighting fire directly, they can make a lot of progress. But on these days, it's about saving lives. So that's why they are going door to door to get you out, because when the winds kick up later on today, at some points, especially this afternoon, there is very little that you can do except move out of the way so that you are safe. And the firefighters will be doing the same as well. They don't want to be in harm's way also. Today's going to be hot with dangerous fire conditions. The Tahoe Basin the next 2 days will undergo some of the most difficult days regarding fire and a direct threat that they've ever seen. That's today and tomorrow. And then we will see some cooler conditions later this week. But to show you the infrared shot here, this is the top of Echo Summit. It's right on the top. Tracy saw it with her own eyes. That's exactly what's going on. And the worst case scenario is a huge line of fire at the edge of a very populated area that has a lot of forest, that has a few ways in and out, and it's going to be tough because when the weather shows up today and tomorrow with gusts up to 30, 40 mile per hour winds and very dry air, it's going to be difficult. Air is very bad near Highway 50, Pollock Pines, and I should say the east side of the valley. Folsom's looking really bad this morning, and the Tahoe Basin, but a little bit better for Sacramento, Stockton, Modesto. I know air quality's been a big issue lately. It gets better today, but look at this plume of smoke. This is going to be a very difficult day ahead because the smoke, the fire direction, everything is lining up. up for a couple tough days. Red flag warning also right on top of that area today and tomorrow. Your forecast, 90s today, 80s tomorrow. Brittany?
Traffic team looking out for you again. I want to show you a video of 50 last night. Take a look at your screen. This is the main reason why a portion of 50 is shut down and no estimated timetable of when all lanes are reopened. Could you imagine driving by that right now? So again, let's go to our graphics. Let's talk about it together. US 50 is shut down. Our traffic graphics will show you Sly Park all the way to Myers. Same story, 89 at Pickett's Junction and 88 at Dewdrop. These are the areas you won't be able to take because of those fire conditions. And Caltrans telling me earlier this morning, hey, we're not sure when any of these roadways will reopen. We anticipate to shut down more. Of course, I will update you. That means take 80. That means take State Route 4, but you will not be able to take that portion of 50. Quickly, Tracy to Livermore, 205 to 580. We're looking at 43 minutes. So traffic's actually building but moving. But meteorologist Carly Gomez, it really is our driving conditions we're concerned about. As a red flag, the gusty winds, and a portion of 50 is shut down. Firefighters always telling us it really is about the terrain.
It really is about the terrain. What's going on here is that firefighters are going to have a very difficult time getting up that terrain, maneuvering bulldozers around some of those spots, because what we're dealing with here is a lot of those slopes. If you've ever gone skiing, you know the slopes are steep. You have to get up on one of those chairlifts to get to the top. And you can see here at Sierra Tahoe, it's going to take a lot to get to the top. The black diamonds, the blue ones, just trying to get down all of those slopes. In between that, when the snow is gone, you see this. You get a lot of those trees very high. You get rugged terrain. You have a lot of dry brush and vegetation right between some of those rocks and boulders, a lot of gaps and crevices there. And then you have to try to see that firefighters are trying to contain flames between gaps and crevices, which is near impossible to do and near impossible to get in ahead of really all those flames. So this is kind of the terrain they're going to be dealing with getting up there. And that is going to continue not just for the next couple of days because they're dealing with a lot of those really strong winds, but as long as the fire continues moving uphill, this is going to be a huge issue. Now, I want to show you an example of exactly what they're dealing with. So bear with me here. We do have our fire extinguisher. We have here some water on the side just in case. But if you've ever been, obviously, to a birthday party, lit the candles, you get your match and you swipe. Let me just try to get that going there. It burns at a normal rate. You see it kind of just moving nicely along, but as soon as you go down to light those candles and tilt up, it's grabbing onto as much wood as much as it can, and it is burning quickly, moving right up toward the top of my fingers. I'm gonna put that in there and just drop it. But that's what's happening upslope. Instead of just grabbing that piece of wood, it's now grabbing, along with wood and trees, a lot of that dry vegetation and grass. And then the fans, or really the winds, fan those flames there to even create longer spot fires, long range ones. Embers on those trees really float and move at a long distance. And Walt, that is a very dangerous situation, especially with those strong winds.
Yeah, your example makes total sense of it. You know, once it's going up the slope, it burns much quicker. Okay, Carly, thank you for doing that. Fire officials are encouraging everyone to be prepared before evacuations become mandatory. At ABC 10, we stand for you. Here's what you should have handy in case of an emergency.
To plan for wildfire evacuations, make an emergency preparedness kit. First, you'll need your basic supplies. That's a 3-day supply of food and water per person. Then, grab other things like a flashlight, batteries, and a first aid kit. You never know when you might need these items. Masks, medications, tools, important documents, and extra cash also will come in handy. Finally, there are some additional things you may want to pack, like matches, a whistle, and work gloves. Also, think of extra clothes, a can opener, and something to sleep on. And games can be important too, especially to keep family members busy.